intro music goes here. There, that's the music. That'll do. That's good, right?
Perfect.
Perfect. That's what I thought. What if this is just our intro?
I don't know. I don't work here.
Nailed it.
My name is Bear. This is my voice.
My name is pStabs. This is my voice.
Hi, I'm Panda.
Is that your voice?
No, it's my butt.
That would be the interesting, like the tough part, I think, if you had so many emotes, is like trying to decide
What goes where.
Yeah.
And that's just the thing in general, is that with emotes, a lot of, especially partners, just because they have so many slots, they try to follow trends. They try to balance ones that stick with community enjoyment and community memes and inside jokes and all that stuff, and then also try to keep up with all the silly shit being said and going on right now.
Yeah. I also like it. Then it gets even crazier with like Better Twitch TV, like all those emotes. Like, there's one streamer that I watch that it is almost like he cares more about those than his actual.
Which, I mean, kind of makes sense because those are free.
Right.
Emotes are difficult. They're even hard for like even me at my size, whatever you want to call it.
That's just because you're limited. You only have so many and you want to have more, but you can't.
Yeah, and I want to make sure that the people that are paying for like, you know, that like I'm bad because I prioritize my recurring subscribers over gifted people when it comes to what they want as far as emotes go.
Why is that bad?
I don't know. It just feels bad because you're not supposed to differentiate between subs, non-subs, gifted
your
subs,
channel.
all
You
that.
do whatever the fuck you want.
Yeah. I just want to make sure that the people that are actively paying money to me get the emotes that they want in the slots that they want it in as much as possible. Right?
Yeah. Your channel, you're allowed to do whatever the fuck you want with it.
I guess. Just, I don't know. It's just how it is. I think that's a good lead into Welcome to Experience Levels, episode 3. It's been a hot minute since we talked last because life is life. And yeah, so that's our little intro for today. Guys, welcome. So what do you think? Was that a good segue? I think I did pretty good on the segue, right? Just into the next thing. We were talking about Twitch emotes and how there's some new follower emotes and stuff. And I'm looking forward to getting mine. I'm also looking forward to certain channels having some. Panda. I would like some more pandas, some more sad pandas. Oh my god, how would you pick 5 more emotes, Panda?
I don't know. I'm going to try to make the best ones follower emotes so they can't be used anywhere else. Make people have to come to my channel.
There you go.
Ultimate scam.
I'll put pStabs sus as a follower emote. I couldn't.
There would be riots in the streets.
You would be out there with your torch, you by yourself.
Oh, it wouldn't be just me.
Sheep would probably also have a torch. Yeah, there's 2 guys.
And Bear as well. And Bear and Allah.
Yeah,
you
I'll
guys
take a torch.
Okay, you'll take a torch.
Yeah. See, I'm not alone.
There you go. All right. Well, at least you got your friends by your side there.
I actually have a emote question for you guys, since you guys both stream.
Okay.
I don't stream.
Since one of you streams and the other one does weird things on the internet.
Facts.
How did you guys decide like what to put as tier 1 as opposed to like tier 3? Because I would imagine as a streamer, like, wouldn't a goal to be to get tier 3 streams or subscriptions, or like, do you think it's more beneficial to have like your quote best or most used emotes in tier 1 as opposed to tier 3?
You want to go first? Or you want me to go first, pStabs?
You can go first.
So I have an answer twofold. I have my personal answer, and then I have a business perspective answer, which I don't follow whatsoever. My personal view is I just put them what I thought would be the most used in tier 1, tier 2 to tier 3. For certain things, like I have my Hey is one of my tier 1 because most people use that when they come in, or you would think that. Whereas one that a lot of people have kind of requested would be a tier 1 as my tier 3, just because of how it looks, and I didn't think it would be that well received, I guess is the best way to put it. but I haven't readjusted my emotes since I put them in. From a business perspective, I would put what would be the most requested at tier 1 and then kind of make either variations on some of those as tier 2, tier 3, or make brand new ones to try to entice people to want those as well. Like the goal would be to have 7 desirable emotes as a whole to try to get people subscribed as much as possible business wise. Me, I'm just like, I like what I like and this is what I picked. So figure it out. I just kind of put them where I felt like they would be the most used personally. No one has really said anything to me about it. So I mean, just leave them.
So your tier 2 one is the yay, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then tier 3 is the love
The
one?
heart, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I like the heart one.
Tier 2, the yay definitely got me. I'm not gonna lie about that.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Well, Sus got you at tier 2 too, right?
Sure did.
So I'm a little bit different than Panda when it comes to this. So
Yeah.
like, yes, my like hey and should always be tier 1, so people want to wave to each other when they come in, and that does happen. And then I have a bot response too for that emote when it picks it up, and then she says hi to the person and that kind of thing. Which is funny when you're trying to use it at somebody else and it says hi to you, and then then people yell at my bot, which makes it interactive, right? But so I think hey should always be at tier 1. Now with follower emotes, I'll probably move that one to a follower emote, possibly, maybe, I don't know, because you can't use it outside the channel. But as far as tier 3 goes, I look at tier 3 in terms of that's the emote that I want there, because chances are you're not going to get a lot of tier 3 subs. Tier 3 subs are expensive, right? They're like $25 a month almost, or is it $19.99? I don't know, it's expensive.
No, it's 25 USD.
Is it? Okay. So yeah, it's expensive, right? And the benefit you get for being tier 3 is you get 1 extra emote for affiliates right now, right? So you're not going to be able to push people realistically to tier 3, but you can maybe push people to tier 2. Here's
based on the allure.
Yeah. So I will probably never remove my most popular sought after emote, which is pStabs sus, from tier 2. One, because I want the people that are paying for that to feel rewarded, right? So I want to make sure that they're like, hey, I'm a tier 2. I get this kind of exclusive emote, that I pay a little extra for, and it's really amazing and blah, 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 right? But I basically, other than like 2 staples, which was lull, so for me, my laugh emote and my hey emote, those are the ones that I want at tier 1 based on usage. And then the other 3, I let people who subscribe vote, is what I did, right? I also look at my analytics to see what the most popular emotes are. And I try to put the popular ones at tier 1, other than sus, because that's a special one. So that's kind of how I do it. I think it's it's next to impossible, even for partners, to push people to tier 3. Tier 3 people are rare because it's very costly compared to tier 2. And yeah, that's kind of how I do it.
Typically, those are the people that either want to like heavily support the creator, or trying to flex on people, or they just really like those emotes. It's normally into one of those 3 camps.
Yeah, or it's a combination of both, right? Like the channel that I tier 3 to is both because I like the emote, but also because I would like to support my friend, right? So and that's the way I can do it. So yeah.
Double channel points, baby.
And Panda does it for the channel points. whatever your motivation is, right? It's
Plus, I can flex on Allah.
Then you can flex. So see, there you go. So Panda falls into the flexing category. All right, so we have limited time today because Bear said he has a hard stop. So do we want to really quickly give a real life update, because it's been a month and I like to do that? Bear, how's everything with you?
Everything's good. Maisie, my daughter, has started sleeping mostly through the night. The occasional time, like last night, she woke up at 2:30 because she had a huge poop. But she's typically been sleeping from like 7:30 to like 4:30, sometimes 6:30.
Ooh,
So
nice.
yeah, it's been actually pretty cool. So we're expecting that to, have a regression anytime, because it's starting to become actually nice because we actually get some sleep now.
Hey,
And
oh,
sorry, one more
I
thing.
was okay.
She weighs over 10 pounds now, so
Hell
we're getting
yeah.
there.
You're
Yep.
definitely getting there. I
Yeah.
was gonna say to Panda, remember when Bear said when Maisie sleeps through the night, he'd be playing video games with us more?
Yeah,
Yeah, me
I
too.
remember.
I remember that. Those were some good times.
Yep.
He just says, yep. All right. That's good.
I
Congrats on
mean,
the Maisie thing.
he already admitted
Yeah.
to only playing single player stuff because he
That
hates playing video games
I
with
did
us.
commit to it. I just thought I was enjoying it.
No, I didn't say commit. I said admit.
admit, yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry. I
Yeah.
heard what I needed to hear.
Which I put in a different video, and I'll just edit that in throughout
Oh,
this
cool.
one. Just that sound clip. How's that?
Just repeating over and over again. That's all
Yeah.
this podcast is.
That's
Got
all
it.
this podcast is. Yeah, we're good. What about you, Panda? What's new in your life?
Jack shit.
What'd you do for the
I mean,
4th of July, or what do you got going on? You did some dog sitting.
yeah, it was not for the 4th of July though.
No.
I didn't do anything on the 4th of July. I stayed home, spent a little time with my grandma. Was about it.
Yeah. It's all right. Low key lives are things. Do you have anything on the horizon as far as your real life stuff goes?
Not particularly.
Okay.
I lead a very exciting life of a whole lot of nothing. I enjoy quiet and peace and alone
Are you still
time.
going to school, Panda?
Yes,
How's that going?
I hate it.
See, that could have been an update. Thanks for asking, Bear.
Yeah.
I feel we have to drag the information from Panda, maybe. Kicking and screaming. Tell us about your life. We want to know.
That's
I
funny.
don't have a life. That's my life.
How about you, pStabs?
Mine's basically kind of the same, I guess. Work sent out a notice that they're gonna start trying to get us back in the office because our COVID is getting a little bit more under control. I'm still waiting for my second shot, which hopefully I can. I keep calling once a week to see if I can get it scheduled early, but it's scheduled for the end of August right now. But I'm pretty sure I can get it moved up. In COVID bragging news, because that's a thing somehow, Canada has now surpassed the United States as far as percentage of vaccinated people goes. Woot woot, go
Shocker.
us, hell
Not
yeah.
surprising at all.
Well, because you guys like flatlined, and we're like, we didn't start till way late, and then they just pumped it all through. So yeah, but I'm still in the not totally vaccinated camp, and I'm actually looking forward to getting it so that I can go visit my mom. And when I'm allowed to, I'm gonna stay there for a whole week, and it's gonna be good.
Nice.
And I might stream, probably not, but I don't care at this point because I get to go and hang out with my mom, and yeah, so I'm excited to see my mom.
pStabs in real live stream? Is that what I heard?
Oh, maybe. Actually, I could probably. She's got some fiber internet now, so should be fast like mine at here because I got supersonic Toronto stuff.
Awesome.
All right, Bear. What's your first topic, sir? Oh wait,
Go
wait.
on.
I got to do corrections from last time. I'm forgetting my own format. Okay, follow up real quick. So, we talked about D-Day, and so I just wanted to get some facts because I didn't get facts straight. Canada entered World War II September of 1939 when Germany invaded Poland, and the 3rd Canadian Infantry Division were the people that took part in D-Day on June 6th of 1944, as Panda mentioned. So, yes, we were there early on. And yes, we also participated in D-Day, and that's my only historical correction I needed to make because I don't know, I feel it's important to make sure that we have some facts here sometimes. Okay, now Bear, now your topic.
My topic actually is kind of relating to, I think we had a couple follower questions or subscriber questions, is since Skyward Sword HD, which is a remake from a Wii game from Nintendo, was just released for the Nintendo Switch, and it's been getting a lot of love. I was curious what you guys think about remakes and remastered games. If you support them, or if you think they're a quick cash grab, or what do you guys think?
Personally, I think it depends on the amount of time between the two. Like the Final Fantasy VII, I don't agree with how they split it up, but I was excited to play it up until the point where I found out that they changed the combat style. I have yet to play it yet. I still want to play it. It is on Game Pass, so I will play it eventually. But like the visual update from PlayStation 1 to current generation consoles That's like over a 15-year gap,
Mhm.
almost a 20-year gap, I think, if not more. I don't know the exact date that Final Fantasy VII came out. I can look it up, but that's a big leap that I'm okay with because that's a story that I love. Like I love that original story. I love the combat and a lot of the mechanics in the game. It has a fond place in my heart. It's my personal favorite Final Fantasy, and so that was a remake and a remaster that I was all excited for, to see it kind of what I imagined it would have been in my head compared to what it was graphically as a PlayStation 1 game. That one I'm okay with, but things like Skyrim and Grand Theft Auto, where like they come out every thing that comes out for the last 10 years, and I'm just like, why do I need to rebuy this if I enjoy it on this other console or the new console? It's just kind of frustrating.
Like as opposed to getting a new game, you just get like a re-release on a new console. Yeah.
Well,
Especially when there hasn't been major graphic updates or major performance updates, or there's still the same bugs that persist from version to version to version.
like
Right.
all I'm hearing is Skyrim here, right? Because like they released that, but then did they even bother releasing it with new consoles? Like they've released how many different copies of Skyrim?
I'm
Uh,
pretty. Didn't that come out on Xbox 360?
Oblivion was
Am I
on
right?
360. Yes, it was on 360.
Yeah, and I
Skyrim was
played
And
I
on
played on
360.
PlayStation 3.
yeah, and I'm pretty sure it just got released for the Switch too
Yes.
now.
Well, I can
But
understand them releasing it for different platforms. That part I get. But what I don't understand is like it kind of ties into what Panda said, what depends on how many months or how long has transpired between the original game and a remaster or a redo or something. Because to me it felt like Skyrim was like, "Oh, it's been out a year, let's re-release it." Right? And it really feels like for 10 years or more, they just keep releasing the same game over and over again. I only bought it the one time. I might maybe buy it for PC now that I play more PC games if I'm to redo it, right? But there's some games I want remastered. Like I would love Dragon Age Origins for just new. I just remaster it for me. Just give me the same game but with updated like everything. You know,
so
like
basically,
I
like
would
they
love
did
that.
for Mass Effect,
Yeah. Be-
give Dragon Age that same treatment.
I would be 100. You would lose me for. That's the best way to get rid of me. Get me some Dragon Age Origins remastered. You guys won't hear from me for a couple weeks while I play the fuck out of it. And that's been a long time. They've never done a remaster on that. So I think the difference for me is, I think for me it's definitely a matter of how long ago they did the game versus
Okay.
now. So if it's been a while and there's been substantial or significant upgrades to technology, then I don't see an issue with it. I also don't see an issue if they're releasing it for each platform. No problems there, right? Because I'm going to buy it for the
And I
platform
think
that I use.
sure, and I think that was Ala that wanted to ask that question
Mhm.
too. If I'm not mistaken, I want to make
Yep.
sure that he gets
Shout out to
a shout
Alawake.
out. Yeah.
And then, so what was didn't Praxic have a very similar question?
Oh yeah, so Praxic asked, Praxic Fire asked, how do you feel about game emulation and game preservation that the community tries its best to do while certain companies try their best to ruin it? So for me, I actually just did the Switch Online thing, which was $20 for the entire year, which I think is crazy cheap. And that came with Nintendo and Super Nintendo games essentially like emulated on the Switch. And I think that that is just like fantastic. I love being able to play Super Nintendo games and regular Nintendo games on the Switch. I'm a huge fan of that.
Isn't that similar to the Steam thing that was released? Does that count as an emulator?
Steam
Oh,
thing. No. That's a handheld PC.
oh,
The
is it
Steam
okay?
Deck. It's
Yeah.
basically a handheld PC.
Okay.
It just allows you to access anything you could on your PC on the go.
Okay, so it's not the same then as okay,
No.
because I'm trying to get it straight in my head. I don't do games a lot, right, when it comes to this kind of thing. So you're talking about like Nintendo games.
So what he's talking about is so since the PlayStation 1's been out of circulation for so long, people are basically ripping game files onto their computer and then using a program to emulate the hardware of a PlayStation in order to play that on their PC.
Okay.
So That's what he means by an emulator. Nintendo has a built-in for Super Nintendo and original Nintendo only through their online service on the Switch, where you can play a bunch of those games. It's not the full library, but you can play a lot of like their greatest hits
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, I actually
on
think that would
there.
be cool then, right? There's a I mean, then you have to talk about whether or not it's worth the money to have them, and then are people upset because, once again, somebody's charging a subscription fee or a yearly fee for something that they might technically already own,
So
right?
from a legal standpoint, emulators are not legal.
But what
So
if
this
it's
is
the
the
same
thing.
company
Even
though?
even
So
if
this
you
is
own
the
the game.
even if you physically own a copy of the game
Yep.
and
Emulators
you
are
totally
not.
legal.
Oh, I
emulators
think I
are
knew
illegal.
that.
That was a big thing for the Smash community as well.
Okay.
That's why I think it was the Smash Brothers Melee tournaments canceled, because Nintendo is adamantly against using emulators. But as the machines start to get older, the parts and the pieces start to become harder and harder to find. The working copies of the games become more and more rare. It's going to be harder and harder to maintain the level of popularity and usability on a large scale if people want to keep playing these. And then the companies may or may not release a remastered version of it. But then when you jump from technology to technology, you start to see variances in the way that the game performs via controllers to inputs and all these other things.
Yeah.
There may be unforeseen changes.
Okay. So didn't we talk about on one of the episodes where they were taking, it was the one where we talked about the gunk on the disc.
Yeah.
Well, wasn't the resolution for that for them to use an emulator? They outlawed discs, did they not?
I think it was just a digital copy of the game.
Oh, a digital copy. Okay, that's where it's different. All right, that's fair then. That's fair. I don't know. I think it's kind of neat if you can, but it's weird to me that it's illegal for the same company. Like, if Nintendo owns the,
Because it's basically piracy.
yeah, but they're
Is
pirating
how it is.
themselves. Can you pirate yourself?
No. So like
They're
the
not.
ones on the Switch are legal emulations of it.
Okay.
Like but it's me using this program to run it on my PC, not on the host machine, like the actual machine it comes from, but using a different medium to play these games is where the legality comes into it, or the illegal nature of it comes into play.
Okay.
Like when I was in high school, in my my AutoCAD class that I had, basically as soon as we finished our packet for, because it was an accelerated or honors advanced class, so we got college credit for it. As soon as you finished the packet you needed to submit to the school for credit, you could do whatever the fuck you wanted in that class. Teacher didn't care.
Yeah.
You could take all year to work on your packet. You could knock it out in the first week. I did that. And so literally I just sat there and played Super Mario World on my school computer for the remainder of the year. And all these other Super Nintendo games that I had gotten from one of my cousins and transferred to a thumb drive, which I then transferred to my student files on the school computer.
So you're a
Breaking the
lawbreaker.
law.
That's what I hear.
Mhm.
I hear Panda breaks the law.
Sure.
Or at least high school AutoCAD class Panda did.
Those files are long gone.
There you go. You can't search his computer for them. I think that, yeah, I think that's how I feel. Whatever we just said.
But I mean, nowadays there's websites you can play most of these games on anyway.
That's true too. So are they illegal?
I could not tell you. I'm not a lawyer. Maybe one of our lawyers could help with that.
Yeah, we'll have to call in the lawyers. Zen and Keeler girlfriend. Actually, Zen might know since he deals a lot with copyright and stuff. That'll be a view. We'll ask the viewer that. Dear Zen, if you're watching this, is it illegal for websites to emulate games somehow?
'Cause that was the only way for you to play the game that J-Dog redeemed for you to play.
That's true.
Through a website.
And that will be eventually played for you to watch somehow.
Mm-hmm.
Where can we watch it?
Twitch.tv/pStabs. Twitch.tv/pStabs.
I hate you. All right, Panda, what's your topic?
I've lost my topic in my brain.
Uh-oh. You don't write it down? Do you want me to do my topic first?
No, that's fine. I'll probably forget it still.
Okay. You can just
Because
make one up.
I was going to talk about the Steam Deck,
Well, why don't you
but
talk
then
about
I
the
had
Steam Deck?
something else. Well, I had something else like pop up earlier, and I've lost that idea.
Well, then why don't you just talk about Steam Deck then?
Seemed to be more compelling. I mean, we kind of already touched on it a little bit, or you just asked about it.
Oh, I just asked about it.
Steam Deck seems interesting but unnecessary is my personal take on it. The Steam Deck is the Steam / Valve's solution / competition to the Switch as a mobile gaming platform, but it can also be utilized as like a mini PC with monitors and keyboards and stuff like that, apparently.
Interesting. Why do you think it's unnecessary then?
Because at that point, we already have desktops, we already have laptops, and the fact that the screen is so small, but they still want people to play games on there, is that most of the time, most of the games you're going to want to play on there is you can just like squinting and staring. And I don't know if it's going to be extra hoops for developers to jump through in order to reformat games for this, or if it will just be done somehow natively. Because you also have to have controller support for any game that you want to play on there.
Yeah.
On the go.
Because I did notice that that's the thing, is it's basically like, I was like, I don't know how mouse and keyboard people are going to feel about playing a handheld version where they have to use thumbsticks for all of their games, right? And I actually, I'm sorry, go ahead.
So reading things, they've said that anything that you can plug in via USB, you can plug into this thing. But you're going to either have to purchase the extra dock that they said that they're going to sell separately. Potentially you have to purchase a USB-C hub to plug things in separately. And its base model is $400 for 64 gigabytes of storage. You can store half a game on there.
How do you play? Okay. I was going to say, how do you play your games? Like, you can't play some of the bigger names because they're bigger than that.
Right.
Unless they do a thing where you have to be connected to the internet and it does some kind of like half on the internet, like half on the cloud and half downloaded, and it's kind of like a cloud service streaming. Like Stadia.
I think it'll be cloud because you should be able to take this offline. It's not going to be like Steam Remote, like you can do on your phone or do on a tablet, where that plays through cloud.
Oh, so I didn't know that Steam already had that, like a Steam Remote.
Or plays thing. It plays it off of your existing computer, I think is how it works.
Oh, okay. Like a desktop emulator. We're back to emulators today.
But it's not an emulator in the sense of what we were talking about.
Yeah, no, I know it's different. Yeah.
But this is meant to be like a portable PC essentially.
Isn't that called a laptop?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, but it's smaller than a laptop. So I could see, because I actually looked at it and I went, that actually would be kind of nice to be able to play, like, if I'm going to my mom's and I just want to go in real quick and do, like, you know, a couple matches of PvP for some reason on this thing, I would probably get my butt kicked in Destiny, right? Then that actually would be beneficial. I wouldn't have to bring my whole Xbox and set that all up, right? Not that Xbox is hard to set up. Like, so to me, I was like, oh, that's actually something I might be interested in. But
if you get the base version of this thing, you can't even install Destiny.
Yeah, that's what I'm just like, how do I play Destiny? But then I did read. Did you read about this Steam Deck and Destiny in particular?
No.
You can't play Destiny on it anyway because of their quote unquote anti-cheat.
Destiny has anti-cheat?
Apparently it does.
Allegedly.
Which people drug on Twitter about it. Like, I saw it. I only saw one thread about it, but it was like massive, and it was just a bunch of memes and stuff of them like, yeah, right, anti-cheat.
It won't run Destiny, Apex, PUBG, or Siege apparently.
Okay. All due to anti-cheat or due to whatever?
I don't know. I just literally Googled Steam Deck Destiny 2 and a PC Gamer article is what popped up first thing.
Okay.
So I do have a little opinion about the Steam Deck thing.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna compare it to, like, I have a Switch, and do I play my Switch on my TV or like handheld, right? Because I also have a PC. So I would way rather play my Switch on a TV, right? Bigger, like kind of the way it was, in my opinion, meant to be played. So going from a PC to handheld, I would just rather play on PC. And me personally, I don't ever find myself in those situations where I'm like, at like an airport or something, and I'm like, oh man, I wish I could play Destiny right now if you could play it on that. Because if I am able to play it, I'd be like, man, this is just not as good.
What
I'm
if you
just
could
not
play
going to play it.
Assassin's
I'll
Creed?
wait. I don't know, I guess.
So
Because
this
I
is
don't
the
know if
thing,
it would be
though.
like as good, right? Because like I can play as like Zelda on like handheld. It's just so much better on the TV that I'm like, I'm not gonna bring my Switch with me so I can play it on launch, because I'll just wait till I have a moment to play it at home on the TV like it's meant to be played. So for me, it's kind of not worth it for me, I guess, because I want to play the games the way that they were meant to be played. Now, if there's a specific handheld game, right, like Pokemon games are specifically handheld, I love those on handheld. I don't think I'd want to play that on a TV. I mean, I would, but I can play it on handheld because that's what it was meant for, and it first came out like that.
Segue, I'm excited for Pokemon Legends Arceus. Let's go. End of this
Ooh,
year.
explain.
And it looks real pretty. Have you not seen that?
Is that Diamond and Pearl that they're
No. So
remaking, or is this brand
yes.
new?
There's three technically. So there's the Diamond and Pearl remake come out at the end of this year, but there's the Pokemon Legend Arceus, I believe is what it's called. Yeah, Pokemon Legends Arceus. That looks real pretty.
Switch
Yeah.
game?
Yes, it'll be coming out on Switch
Ooh.
at the beginning of next year is what they're saying now. So for your viewing pleasure to look that up later.
Will it have Meowth?
Meowth?
The kitty.
Yeah, probably. I don't know.
Hell
I
yeah.
assume
The
so. Who knows?
kitty.
That's all that matters. I just like the kitty one. It's cute.
You know what
One
I'm
of
ready
the
for? Sorry, go on, Panda.
back to the Steam Deck real quick. One of the other issues that I personally have with it is that just like the current Switch, not the OLED Switch that's about to come out this year, but the current Switch, it's also 720p. So it's not even high definition. Well, it is high definition technically, but it's not like 1080p like we've become or used to. But I don't know. It just feels like I don't think this is going to take off, and I don't think it's going to really see the level of popularity that they want it to. It's way too late after the Switch. Doesn't fill the same role as the Switch. It also doesn't have full support for their entire library, which would make way more sense.
Well, what
They
happened
had
to
full
the
Steam support, Steam Store support.
what happened to the PlayStation Vita or PlayStation's
That
handhelds?
they all died.
Did they die off?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I know here in this household there was a couple of them at one point, different iterations of them, and they were kind of neat
Right.
and stuff. But again, it was really difficult to play certain games on them because you definitely couldn't play Destiny. I don't even know if it was available. Like, don't quote me on that, but you couldn't play games that required
They had the remote play thing through them.
Oh, they did. So maybe, but there was something that where the screen was too small. So depending
the
on
downscaling was rough.
depending on what game it was really hard to you couldn't see everything you were trying to look for, and it made it cumbersome. Like I used it to play souped up Tetris kind of
Which you could
games,
just do on your phone.
Exactly. So it was basically not something that I found useful personally. So, and maybe the Steam Deck is similar in that it won't be useful.
Also, the battery life is 2 to 8 hours.
Oh,
depending on what you're playing.
You're legitimately just logging in and seeing Xur. That's all you're doing.
Yeah.
No, you can't even log in and see Xur, remember?
Oh, you can't, right? Because the anti-cheat.
Yeah. And it has to do with the Steam operating system, how it works as a Linux system, apparently.
Yeah.
Looking at the PC Gamer article.
Okay. So
well, isn't it like $400 too?
The base model is $400, and then you get 64 gigs of storage. The next one is $530 for 256 gigabytes, and the biggest one is $650 for 512. They're all SSD. The last two are NVMe. I can't remember the actual acronym. For faster read write times and stuff like that. And the highest model gets this anti scratch resistance, glare resistant glass.
At that price amount, I think a console is just a better purchase in my
Consoles, yeah, they're
opinion.
cheaper at that point. Like
Yep.
when you get to the top
Mhm.
end Steam Deck, like
Well,
he just said, like I could get a
Yeah.
console for that. But then
the
you
64
lose the mobility.
the
True.
64 gigabyte version is $50 more expensive than the new Nintendo Switch OLED coming out.
Oh, jeez. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I would probably get that over a Switch just because on a
You
Switch
already
you
have one, but if you
well,
didn't have a Switch, like if you had a vacuum and mobile gaming in your household, would you get a Switch or would you get the Steam Deck?
I would
I
probably get a
personally would get the Switch.
Switch. Yeah, I'd probably get a
But for
Switch.
me, who's never played Switch games or Nintendo games past Duck Hunt, right?
Mm.
I am absolutely not interested in any of the games that are available on that platform. So for someone like me, I'd be more likely or more interested in a Steam Deck than I would be in a Switch,
But
That's a
personally.
fair point.
you
But
could play
I don't
Minecraft
think.
on the Switch.
Yeah, but I could
Mm.
also play Minecraft on my Steam Deck, couldn't I?
It's not a Steam. I mean, it could do anything a PC can do, yes. But I don't believe that Java has controller support natively.
Hmm.
So you might have to jump through a bunch of hoops in order to be able to play it on the Steam Deck.
But I could just play Minecraft on my phone. So
Right, but that's Bedrock, and you would have a better experience on the Switch or on the Steam Deck with the controller. Like you could play the Bedrock version, I would assume, on the Steam Deck because that has controller support.
yeah. I don't know if
But
I'd pay $400 or $500 American for Minecraft. Let's put it that way. But for me, I'm more in the market for a Steam Deck than I would be for a Switch, is essentially what I'm saying, based on the titles that I do enjoy to play. All two of them. Minecraft
Well,
and Destiny.
and I will say, like, the nice part about it is that your Steam library is mostly available to you. So you could
Yeah.
play Stardew Valley on it, which would be nice. But again, that's also on the Switch.
I could play the Alan Wake games that I played.
You could play Alan Wake. You could play Dragon Age.
Yep, Mass Effect. Oh no, I played Mass Effects on Xbox.
But in all honesty, I don't really game in bed. Like it's just not where I do any gaming anymore. If I'm in a game, I'm usually at my computer. If I'm on the go, yeah, I might take the Switch for long drives and stuff like that. But I worry about how it will work in offline mode is more so what I'm, and I also don't know how well it's gonna cool, like heating and cooling for a pocket PC, because PCs get real hot.
Yeah, they do. I don't know. Maybe we're not in the market for one. It sounds like we're not getting a Steam Deck anytime soon.
Yeah, these three peeps.
Us three. Well, that's the future of their company, just down the tubes.
Not unless Gage sends me one to review.
There you go. Oh yeah, hashtag not sponsored, but sponsor us, right? We'll review it. How's that? Send it to Ad Panda with underscores. Twitch.tv. My topic really quickly is actually, it has to do with anti-cheat, but it's an extension of anti-cheat, sort of in a way. I went down a rabbit hole because I started seeing COD pop up.
Oh yeah.
On the feed with they've got a big problem with cheaters and hackers, same as Destiny right now, right? And so Destiny communities
just had a big blanket ban.
Yeah, they did. So the Destiny community is all like, "Oh, we can relate, blah blah blah," right? Everything's so amazing. And welcome to the fold of cheaters. And they've done a whole pile of blanket bans recently. Even 2 days ago, they did 50,000 people or accounts anyway. But that's because Warzone's free to play. However, it's not necessarily, my topic isn't necessarily about the anti-cheat or lack of. It's about this. There was a news article that popped up while I was doing some research on this. It says, maker of machine learning cheat says their intent was never to do anything illegal after Activision clamped down on them.
I read that article, actually.
Did you read that one? Machine learning cheat. That to me is wild. And I'm like, how can any anti-cheat software keep up with that? So
did you read how it worked?
Sort of. So I was skimming it. It says, maybe you can explain it a little bit better to me than me. And it works on console. Can you explain it, Panda?
Because it uses a secondary machine. That's how it works on console.
Yeah.
And how it worked on PC is that it's similar to like a 2 PC setup. for streaming, where one is running the game, the other one is doing all the other heavy lifting. So your secondary PC is taking input from the game, analyzing it, and then outputting back to the game PC of everything that needs to be done in the game in terms of those cheats.
Yeah, and they said something like you just have to aim in the general direction.
Therefore, the secondary PC is doing all of the, in quotes, cheating for you, and it's undetectable through the gaming PC. The only way to really detect it is when you go from a 0.02 KD to like a 10.0 KD overnight.
Yeah, and if anybody wanted to cheat and not get detected, you would make sure that you didn't have that happen, right? Where you would have to like take
Have
the
one really
time.
insane game and then just a bunch of shitty games.
Exactly, right? If you wanted to really, really get into it. So I just found that was incredible to me. The fact that somebody's trying to use machine learning for cheating. Although they're trying, the person that
He was
developed
saying
it was
his
saying
intent
it
was
wasn't
not
for
that.
cheating, but I don't buy that, because why would he start with the cheating, right? So in a statement that the guy that developed this or was developing this said, user 101 is their name. They said, it says, this statement is not required. However, at the request of Activision Publishing, I will no longer be developing or providing access to software that can be used to exploit their games. My intent was never to do anything illegal. At the end of the video that brought so much attention to this project, it stated, coming soon. The software was never published. This type of technology has other actual assistive benefits. For example, by pointing a webcam at yourself, you could control movement without the use of limbs. Unfortunately, because of its potential negative impact, I will not be developing further. And to me, that's kind of like, the way it's worded is, as the queen of passive aggressive. This to me is a little bit of a passive aggressive thing to be like, oh, but we could have helped all of these people with accessibility problems. Then why didn't you start there? Why didn't you start the research or start it with the technology to help assist people without limbs do their gaming, as opposed to putting it as cheating in a video game, right? Because to me, it would be great to be able to help people play games if they don't have arms, for example, right? And if they want to take part in that, and to make games more accessible. I think that that's a wonderful thing, and I think technology should be used for that. But they started with the cheating. So they lost me. They lost me with that, right? I don't know. That's my kind of like, that stuck out to me, that I was just like, I don't think that this dude is truthful in his intentions.
I have a layer of skepticism as to whether or not there's truth to that. I would hope that it would be the case, and maybe there's a way that he can rework it so that won't be the way it goes moving forward. But it's a shame that he may feel like he's defended if he claims it as such, even though it might not be that way to begin with. Like, he feels the need to lie to save himself.
Yeah. Well, and this was just a threat of legal action by Activision. Activision didn't actually like sue him, right? This is just a threat at this point. And he backed down and then came up with this thing. But I guess in a larger, real quick, because I know Bear has to go, but part of the larger conversation is, how can we as players expect a development company, no matter who it is, to keep up with machine learning cheats that are undetectable? Right. I don't think we can. And I think, yeah.
It's no different than just like hacking in general. Like, all of that stuff is all reactive. You're never going to be ahead of the curve when it comes to anti-cheat or like preventing people from hacking your stuff from like a network security perspective, kind of a thing. I know it's very opposite of what we're talking about right now, but you're never going to be fully prepared for what's going to happen. You are always reactive to the things that are going on. So maybe months or potentially a year down the line, there may be a way for them to detect it and suss that out. But it's never going to be day one. As soon as this cheat comes out, they're already prepared for it.
Yeah. And I could understand too, when companies are developing an anti-cheat or software, even antivirus software, they don't tend to talk about it because they don't want the people developing the bad stuff. I guess it's the good versus bad. You don't let the bad guys know that you're you're on to them essentially, right? Like it's definitely a game of like cop,
cat and mouse.
Yeah, cat and mouse, exactly. And so I think we as a gaming community demanding that there's, that Bungie, for example, or even whoever makes COD, I forget their name here, demand
Activision.
Yeah, Activision. Okay. Demand that they give us all the information about anti-cheat and stuff. I think that that's ridiculous because how do you expect it to work?
Yeah. But we're also we're adults and not children.
Were you going to say level-headed and then take away the level-headed? Because are we not level-headed? Wow, Panda.
Usually we are, but I mean, everybody gets heated every now and then depending on topic or subject.
Yeah.
Nobody's level-headed 24/7.
No, we never fight ever.
No.
So, yeah, I guess that we'll wrap this up because Bear has to go in 1 minute. I kind of want to keep him on the thing. One day, Bear, book us for an hour and a half, sir.
Yeah, I will.
And then that way I can this will still be a decent one. But thank you guys very much for listening. And
stop trying to be a responsible parent.
Yeah, exactly. Hang out with your friends some more. Come on, Bear. Jesus Christ. I mean, come on. All right, where can we find you, Bear? Other
Twitter.
than mowing your lawn. Twitter? BreakdownBear?
I'm cutting the grass. BreakdownBear, Twitter.
All right, Panda, where can we find you?
Usually in my gaming chair, in my underwear.
In his underwear, okay. Or twitch.tv/wansadpanda with underscores. And
Twitter.
And Twitter, yeah. Twitter without underscores, because he likes to mix it up. You can find me on YouTube as pStabs, Twitch as pStabs, Twitter as pStabs404, because I also like to mix it up. So yeah, thanks guys for listening. If you have any viewers or listeners have any questions that you'd like us to discuss or topics, please leave them in the applicable comment sections or in the Discord if you're a member of the Discord. All right, guys, thanks very much. I'm going to end the recording now.